Oh my.
After spending 12 years together, the Big Bang Theory actors remember quite a few precious moments.
Put it on me, put it on me, put it on me, put it on me.
And all of them definitely have hilarious scenes and episodes they love the most, including when they talked to iconic guest stars, couldn't stop laughing, shared romantic moments, and had some of the saddest times of their lives.
This isn't fair to you, Leonard. I'm sorry.
Let's find out what still makes the Big Bang Theory actors nostalgic. The finest episode saturation. Kaley Cuoco once shared with TV Insider that she loved the 7th season's episode, The Scavenger Vortex, the most. The reason why is simple. It involved the entire cast, and it did it in the funniest way possible. So pretty much everyone loved filming the serious, cutthroat competition among the gang.
The entire way through it, to the point we were in tears. We were laughing so hard.
Kaley also has her favorite scenes. First is the one where Sheldon hugs Penny for the first time after she gives him Leonard Nimoy's napkin as a Christmas gift.
Leonard, look, Sheldon's hugging me.
That certainly meant a lot to him. And another memorable scene for Cuoco was an adhesive duct deficiency, where Penny slips in the bathroom and dislocates her shoulder. The actress shared that she and Jim laughed so hard while shooting this scene.
Is that my arm?
It doesn't feel like an arm.
Speaking of the Sheldon actor, he loved the episode titled The Ornithophobic Diffusion. Remember how our beloved Dr. Cooper was afraid of the blue jay and then realized how cute it was? That was also the very first time Sheldon said, "I love you" on the show.
This isn't a moment for strict adherence to the literal. You're just my little lovey-dovey, aren't you?
To the bird, not to Amy, of course.
Guess you gotta have hollow bones to get some sugar around here.
And here's why Parsons likes this episode the most. It's exceptionally silly. It's exceptionally unlikely, he commented, and added that he just loves being in unlikely situations. It was also interesting to film it, as they had to shoot the scenes in segments because there was no way the bird would do everything according to the script on the first try. Besides, as a good boyfriend and husband, Parsons loved the romantic scenes with Amy.
A love relationship in the form of Amy that certainly changed my life.
Mayim can back him up on that.
I love you too.
Her favorite episode is the one where Amy and Sheldon lose their virginity. The actress shared that she loved how veiled it was. We took something so monumental for Sheldon and this relationship and did not have it be a vulgar episode or really even a highly comedic episode, Bialik said. She's right, it was neither, and it was very beautiful. And Mayim's favorite scene is Amy's first kiss with Sheldon. Well, we can safely assume that she's a romantic in real life. Let's move on to her fellow Neil Diamond fan. Simon loves the storyline where Howard goes into space because there's barely another sitcom that launched one of their characters to the International Space Station.
I have strongly mixed feelings.
And this one even managed to come back alive. The actor also has fond memories of the pilot episode because of how nervous everyone was. After all, no one knew if the audience was going to love the show.
I just will always remember standing outside the door here, just so nervous and so excited.
For his on-screen wife, her favorite episodes were the ones that featured Bob Newhart.
I remember the first time Bob Newhart was here, even though I didn't have any scenes with him, just having him on set was so exciting.
Soon we'll tell you more about how much she loves the man, so stay tuned. Besides seeing Newhart on the set, Melissa also loves showing Bernadette's no BS attitude.
Some of my all-time favorite episodes, I think the first time that we saw some of Bernadette's attitude was when she assisted Howard at a children's birthday party where he was a magician.
Well, the actor who plays Rauch is a huge fan of the emotional stuff.
The whole universe that comes with putting this together, I'm really gonna miss.
Out of the funny moments, Kunal liked it when he had to dress up as Aquaman.
Aquaman sucks.
And also when he talked to Penny for the first time after having a glass of grasshopper. Finally, for Johnny Galecki, it was hard to choose his favorite.
It's very difficult because they all kind of melt into one experience or one memory.
But eventually, he decided that the best scene for him was the one where Penny says, "I love you" to Leonard for the first time.
Listen to me, you are the one I'm with. You know I love you. So will you please relax because you're driving me crazy?
Looks like the Big Bang Theory cast is full of romantics. Now let's see who they liked working with the most. The supporting actor Paradigm. For Mayim Bialik, just like many of us, her favorite member of the supporting cast was Stuart. Played by Kevin Sussman, the sad sack comic book store owner quickly became part of the Big Bang family.
I'm fun. I'm not clinically depressed at all.
Especially by the end of the show. when we started seeing more of him and when he even found the girl of his dreams. But of course, Stewart wasn't the only memorable supporting character in the show, and for Jim Parsons, the best ones were Laurie Metcalf and Christine Baranski, who played Sheldon's and Leonard's mothers.
The moment a man lays with a woman, they are married in the eyes of the Lord.
Even before he became famous, he admired these actresses. All the years that I watched them, I would identify with them as performers, as a fellow craftsman in the field, Parsons shared. Working with Metcalf and Baranski was a rewarding experience for the actor, and he learned a lot from both of them. Meanwhile, let's see what some of Jim's co-stars thought about the celebs they had to work with on the set. The guest star accumulation. There were quite a few famous people who had cameos on The Big Bang Theory.
Shatner, Manganiello, Kevin Smith, Will Wheaton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
From renowned scientists to iconic actors, it's quite hard to choose the best one, right? But some of the show's cast members know who their favorite guest star was. For Melissa Rauch, it was Bob Newhart, who played Professor Proton, aka Arthur Jeffries.
Come on, Horatia. Arthur.
The actor didn't have a science show for kids in real life, and certainly never came to anyone as a Jedi advisor, but after decades of stand-up comedian experience, he certainly nailed the role. Rauch has always been a fan of his. I had a Bob Newhart record album as a kid that was my father's, and I did stand-up before, the actress admitted. While Newhart was on the set, Melissa got to speak to him about stand-up and the live audience aspect of it, and as she said, she'll always cherish this conversation. Melissa's co-star, Kunal Nayyar, has two favorite guest stars, Mark Hamill, obviously, and Kal Penn. The latter was so special to him because he's also Indian. Nayyar admitted that he remembered watching Penn in Harold and Kumar while he was in grad school. He was the only actor of Indian descent at the time who was doing it in a big way, and he gave me a lot of hope, Kunal shared. And to call Kal a friend these days is an honor for Nayyar. And Simon Helberg made the most obvious choice and said that his favorite co-star was Stephen Hawking.
You're right.
When they were on the set together, it was hard for Helberg to process that this legendary physicist was actually there. It's those moments that do tend to be larger than life, Simon said. Well, I can get him. The man was an icon. Still excited to learn more details about your favorite show? Then we're moving on. The stealing experiment. Well, it would be bad not to take something home to remember the good old days by, right? So some of the cast members asked for a few souvenirs. Simon Helberg, for example, now owns Howard's Nintendo belt buckle. What's so special about it, you might ask? It was the one he was wearing in the pilot episode, so it's not just a buckle for him.
Yeah, right, your grandmother back in town?
His on-screen bestie, Kunal Nayyar, decided to pick a replica dagger carried by Frodo in The Lord of the Rings. It was kept in the boys' apartment that was full of sci-fi stuff. Kaley Cuoco decided to take another thing from there. It was the Rock'em Sock'em Robots poster that was hanging behind the couch. This poster is quite special to her. It was always in my sightline from where I sit in the living room set, so I'm glad I'm going to put it in my own living room, the actress said. But pretty much no one else managed to take anything home from the set, and that's thanks to the strict policy of Warner Brothers. They even put microchips into all of the props to ensure they wouldn't get stolen. So after the filming ended, everything had to be packed up and sent to archives. At least the set designer created replicas of the door numbers for the cast and crew, so at least no one left truly empty-handed. But still, it must have sucked not being able to take something from the set. However, there was something else that sucked even more. The worst moment determination. Well, there were two things. First of all, for most of the actors, it was hard to memorize the scientific jargon. After all, only Mayim is a real-life scientist, while no one else knew a thing about physics and science. Yup, even the Sheldon actor.
Their experiment on kaon decay supported our something.
And another thing all of the Big Bang Theory actors hated was saying goodbye to the show. During the final table read and while filming the last episode, they were all in tears.
Whole universe was in a hot, dense state. Then nearly 14 billion years ago, expansion started.
You might be surprised, but one of the cast members who cried the most was Johnny Galecki. When he and Kaley were doing one of their last scenes together, he had to stop in the middle of it because he was getting so emotional and couldn't even speak. And when the whole cast came out to the audience for the last time, he shared long, emotional hugs with each one of his co-stars. For all of the sitcom actors, it was incredibly hard to say goodbye to their characters, but they were ready to move on with their lives, and the best is yet to come, right?
Start over.
If you liked this video, watch another one we made about what the Big Bang Theory cast love and hate about their characters. And stay awesome!